Two Worlds, One Family by Dragon Translator. Chapter 48. A Pause on the Way Home. They found a sea stack far enough from Outcast Island that they could pause and make sure everyone was unharmed. While Gita and Astrid spoke with Heather's parents, and the other riders just rested and kept watch for Outcast ships, Hiccup and Toothless asked the Changewing and the Whispering Death to fly to another sea stack that sat nearby. He wished to speak to them, but did not want Heather's parents to know about the common tongue. "Are either of you hurt?" Hiccup asked as they landed.
"I am unharmed,"
the Whispering Death said, its voice female and sounding as if she was eating rocks.
"I am as well,"
the Changewing said, its voice male and sounding slightly musical.
"The mage that freed us said you were the alpha of the nest she lives in."
"The dragons that live in the nest declared me their alpha," Hiccup said, still not used to the title or the fact that dragons on Berk obeyed him. The Changewing tilted his head, staring at Hiccup for a long moment, then chittered.
"I shall return to my own nest," he said. "I will let my queen know of you. She may wish to speak with you one day, if nothing more than to thank you for directing your nest to free me."
"I will welcome her on Berk," Hiccup said, smiling.
"Good day, alpha of this flock," the Changewing said. "May the winds forever be under your wings."
"Yours as well." The dragon flew off, heading west. The Whispering Death stared at Hiccup.
"Thank you for ordering your nest to free me," she said. "That human wished to take my eggs for his own purposes. Your nest mate freed me before I had to lay them."
Hiccup's eyes widened.
"Do you have a place to lay them?" he asked. "No. My nest was destroyed by those humans when they captured me and had my mate killed as he tried to protect us."
"Would you like to return with us?" Hiccup asked. "You can stay on Berk and be a part of our nest."
"You would welcome one such as I?"
"Yeah, why wouldn't I?"
"The wind shrieker that provides you wings is glaring at me."
Hiccup looked down.
"Toothless?"
Toothless sighed.
"I got into a fight with another rock tunneler. It was not a pleasant memory. She's not the one I have issue with, so I have no problems with her living in the nest." "You're sure?" "I am sure."
Hiccup stared at his brother for another heartbeat before looking up at the Whispering Death.
"So, do you want to become part of the nest?"
In answer, the Whispering Death lowered her head and closed her eyes. Her smaller wings flared and the tip of her tail stilled.
"My alpha," she said.
"Thank you," Hiccup said, after Toothless gave a short hop, reminding him without words that he had to acknowledge the Whispering Death. The dragon rose. Hiccup blinked when the Squadron burst out of the water and landed on the sea stack beside the Whispering Death. Hiccup had thought the water dragon fled as soon as it dove into the water back on Outcast Island.
"Thank you for my freedom,"
it said, its voice female, and sounding as if she was drowning just like the male from the other day.
"Do you have a home?" Hiccup asked.
"I am unsure. My pod and I were separated just before I was captured."
"You can come to Berk. There are many inlets and coves where you can rest until you find your pod."
"Most land alphas do not wish a water dragon such as I to be near their nest. They fear we will compete with them for the fish their nest needs."
"We have met a pod of Squadron, and their leader is allied with us. So long as you cause no harm to my nest, I have no issue with you resting near Berk. Maybe we can speak with that Squadron and see if he knows where your pod is."
"You are allied with a pod leader? How did this happen?"
"A human in the nest that still does not like dragons tried to harm them with some blue oleander. We knew Squadrons eat them, so gave the pod leader the flowers as a gift. He declared us allies then."
The Squadron tilted her head. "He must have seen something more than just your giving him a gift. Pod leaders will only ally if they feel the other leader is as worthy as a tusked king."
"I'm sorry," Hiccup said. "I don't know that one. I'm still learning the dragon names for different species."
"Oh, I would have thought you, being able to speak the common tongue, you would know. My apologies. A tusked king is a massive water dragon with white scales. There have been grey ones hatched, but those are rare. The tusked king can create ice shields to keep their nest safe, and many dragons will follow one as an alpha if they are near to its nest. Our elder says they are tasked with keeping all dragons safe in the area they live.
and are known for their compassion and honour. Most water dragons will hold other leaders to the example of a tusked king. This pod leader declaring you an ally means he sees you as having the same compassion and honour.
Hiccup felt his cheeks warm, and he rubbed the back of his neck.
Toothless chortled. I told you, brother, he said. Yes, I know, Hiccup said,
remembering the late-night whispered conversation that he and Toothless had had after that happened, and Toothless explaining the dragon's surprise at the Squadron's actions.
The Wind Streaker calls you kin?
The Whispering Death asked. Hiccup smiled. He reached down and scratched Toothless under his chin, though he avoided the spot that dropped the dragon. Toothless cooed and purred. The other two dragons watched in silence.
He is my brother, Hiccup said. We have another brother, a tiny fang. He's back at the nest helping guard it for us.
The two other dragons shared a glance, then looked back at Hiccup.
I think I see why the pod leader declared you an ally, the Squadron said. You are human, but you are also a dragon. It is an interesting combination. The mage that freed you once told my brother he has the soul of a dragon, Hiccup said. He proves that every day.
The other two dragons cooed. The Squadron then tipped her head.
If you remain willing, honoured Land Alpha, I shall follow you to your nest under the waves. I was in those land caves too long. Sure, get back in the water. I don't want you drying out. We're heading northwest, and we will keep low to the waves so that you can see us. The Squadron chuckled. Yes, I see why that pod leader liked you.
With that, the dragon slipped off the sea stack and dove. Hiccup looked at the Whispering Death.
Our trip will have us arriving in the morning sometime. I don't know as much as I probably should, given the dragon named me Alpha. But will your eggs, will you need to lay them before that? The Whispering Death chortled. Ease your concern, Alpha. A dragon mother can choose where to lay her eggs, unlike others who are gifted the same way of mothering their offspring. I will be fine until we arrive, and a den can be found for me.
Okay. They returned to the other sea stack. Heather's parents were upon Shadowfire. Astrid still rode the Nada. Hiccup resisted the urge to pull her off the dragon's back and hold her as they flew back. He knew that he erred when he did not acknowledge her explanation, but he had been fighting to yank her onto Toothless and directing his brother to fly far away. They still had a duty to Heather's parents, and the freed dragons. His taking his intended out of harm's way, especially after learning Ghidra had not remained with her, would compromise the rescue. When they landed and she had not followed him onto the other sea stack, Hiccup knew he had managed to make her mad at him. Pulling her onto Toothless right now would only make the situation worse. He would give her time and distance back to Berg. As they took off, banking back towards Berg and diving so they flew where the Squadron could see and follow, Hiccup tapped the side of Toothless's neck. Toothless glanced back and snorted before shifting to fly alongside the Nada. Hiccup waited until Astrid looked at him. Her father had made him promise to work things out with her. Hiccup just hoped she would want to after they got home.
When we get everyone settled, I want to speak with you,
he said, hoping he had been able to keep his tone soft. He did not want her to think he wished to reprimand her. She stared at him in silence for several flaps of the dragon's wings. Sure, Hiccup. Hiccup sighed. Her tone gave no indication if she was hurt or mad. He stared ahead, and willed the miles between them and Berg to disappear. End of chapter. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that one. Yeah, nothing much to report except, I like this Whispering Death. She becomes pretty important later on, but I love her. Her name later becomes Ringfire, which I think is quite cool. Anyway, you guys know the drill. Like, comment and subscribe, and hit that bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Have a good day, night, or whatever time zone you're in. Bye my guys, gals, and non-binary pals. I'll see you in another video. Take care.